Hi, this is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle. Recently I had asked a question in a poll on my site that said, what would you like to see? And I gave you a couple of different options. Would you like to learn more about the history of fishing reel manufacturers? Would you like to continue to see particular models torn down and how to service and repair them? And if so, which ones would you like to see? Would you like to learn more about the fishing industry in general? Well, would you like the Q's and A's and the tips and the like? And well, I got a good response, and if you haven't responded to that poll, it's out there. Go ahead and leave that response as well, because, well, I'm always interested in trying to keep my channel relevant to what it is that the viewers would like to see. I'm always open to suggestions for videos. I got quite a few good ones. They'll work their way into my video streams that will always include the reel repair. And today I got one that I thought we would go right to, because it's been a personal pick of mine as well. This one came in from Tanker335. I sent it in yesterday, and he said, I'm curious how a manufacturer can hit a home run on one model of a reel and then whiff on the next one. 25 years ago, he bought a particular brand name baitcaster, was happy with it, bought a second one. They're bulletproof. You can't say the same thing for the other reels that manufacturer makes. And be happy to share that with me. Well, I responded immediately because I just have this one reel that I just can't recommend, and I'm generally pretty good along the lines of, if you can't say anything good, don't say anything at all. But let me go to two kind of ideas here and share them with you. And I'm actually going to do a dissection of the two that kind of show and emphasize my point. The first thing is, if you look at manufacturers' reels today, there are really two types of manufacturers out there. They're the ones that control their own destiny. They make their reels and put a lot of effort into it. And in a lot of cases, they service a particular niche. Just think of the smaller format lever drags and companies like Ovid or Accurate. Those are dedicated to making just that reel. They make a variety of models, but the reels essentially have not changed over time. They're very good, and you just generally do not find the problem that Tanker here is describing. The other type is a type that tries to address a broad market. That is, they want to be everything for everybody. And I was just talking the other day to a fellow named Steve, who's getting into the reel repair business, and Steve said, what's some of the things, that you concern yourself with and the like. And well, one of them was, if you're going to just get into business, focus on one manufacturer's brand first, become an expert in that rather than a jack of all trades in many, and then expand your competencies as you master some of those. And the ones that I said are the ones that are always on everybody's mind: Daiwa, Shimano, Penn. And they try to be everything to everybody. And they try to provide low-end entry things. Everybody's grown up with a Shimano FX EasyCast reel, or very top-end, the Stellas and the like. And model differences within the same manufacturer are often a difference of design and manufacturing, and where they are made within the manufacturing cycles, and who is the target audience they're addressing. I would say of the three major manufacturers, if you're looking for value reels and you're doing a comparison within value reels, you're fine. If you start comparing between models, and that's what this is, right? So here's a Daiwa Crossfire 4000C. It's an entry-level product. I think it was selling for about $20 or $29 or something like that. And here's a Daiwa Laguna. Well, that's a step up. It's not the top of their line. It's not their BGs or anything, but that's a step up from this. And just think, if you had managed to purchase a couple of these Lagunas, and you liked them, and then you saw, hey, there's one there, it's a Crossfire, let me try this one out, you might come up with the same conclusions that Tanker reached there. Boy, I bought a few that were really good, and then, boy, I just bought a stinker. He whiffed on this one, right? So a lot of them have to do with how the manufacturers have developed their lines, and you need to do your research in terms of what's best. All right, here's my personal pick. This is the one that just drives me crazy every time I think about it. It's one of the few reels that I never ever say go buy. And I'm kind of an honest guy, so they generally will live by it. 2 Ambassadeur 5600 reels. This one here, I'm sorry, 6500. This is the 6500 C3. This one is the 6500S. This one says made in Sweden. This one doesn't say. Well, you know what they say about that. If it doesn't say where it was made, it wasn't made where you think it was, right? In this case, if it doesn't say made in Sweden, it wasn't made in Sweden. This reel was made in China. Well, let's go in underneath the covers here. We're going to show you why one reel could be bulletproof and one reel could be, well, not so bulletproof. How's that? This is the original, if you will, the Swedish-made 6500 C3. We're just going to dissect this. I'm not going to walk you through all the parts I'm taking because I really just want you to see the internals here. But even on the externals, as you go to remove the pieces and parts, you're going to notice a couple of things immediately. One of them is that you have some thumb screws on this reel, and you have regular kind of Phillips head machine screws on the other. But we're going to just walk this through. We'll take off the tension ring, take off our star adjuster. Stay with me on this. You're going to find it interesting. While I'm doing this, if you have any questions, if you want to suggest a video that would be a good topic for you to see, then I would encourage you to leave those in the comment section. And if you leave them in the comment section, I will try to get back to you on that. And if it's something that I can do, I will. I have another fellow that just said, could you do a video on a Shakespeare medalist? Well, I don't have one of those in my shop at the moment, but I do write those down. And as the opportunities present themselves, I try to do that. All right, let's pull this out. These frequently come out. It's just a little pressure catch on this side of the spool adjuster. It's a little plastic piece here. Once you pull that down and out, you'll see this is your cap. Again, this isn't the service video. I have a lot of service videos out there, but what I really want to get to here is more of the mechanics of the reel. Okay, there's 2 more screws here that open up the case. And we'll go over to the other side. We'll take the 6500S apart, and we'll do a great reveal here. I'll leave the case on for a moment, okay? All right, let's do that. All right, these are my 6500 parts. I put them in a parts tray so I don't lose them. All right, now we're going to do the second one over here, which is the 6500S made in China. I haven't said it before, I'll say it again. This is not my favorite reel. I wouldn't recommend anybody go out and purchase this one. All right, first thing you're going to notice is this one has a solid gear sleeve where the other one did not. The other one has a sleeve that fits on it, but you'll get into the mechanics of that. On this one, I can feel the difference in the handle blank. More importantly, we have an aluminum star adjuster underneath here that I can't tell you how many times these prongs bend with the least amount of kind of tension against them, maybe a bump on a guard or something, maybe a pier rail or something. They bend. They just kind of fold. And I guess the first difference we can start with is, or we've mentioned a couple already, but the next difference we can go to is this side plate. Now, I'm not going to get nasty or anything, but this side plate reminds me of the bottom of a soda can, and not a very good soda can. It's a very lightweight aluminum. We had mentioned already that these are held on by Phillips head screws, not by the thumb screws. And when this reel came in for service, it was missing a screw. That's why this screw here is different I was able to find one that was the same thread and close enough that it would fit to hold that side plate in. All right. Side plates. Let's take these two off. Now let's go to the exterior first. So I said this aluminum is not the same grade or thickness or strength. I can't say strength. I'm not an engineer. I don't know that it's not the same strength, but it just feels inferior. All right. Let's go to the back end first. On the frames, what do we see? Plastic. We have a plastic runner here. These do have the dogs that do come in and out of it. Underneath, no bearing. This one, we have the traditional dog setup. Bearing. Back end of the reel, one bearing on the back of that. Back end of this reel should have a bearing there. It doesn't. This one, this one's apart. Well, this one needs to be serviced. I just grabbed it. It has one rusted bearing here, but we have a bearing on both sides of the spool. So not too much different there. Line guide wise, there is a difference. You'll notice on this line guide, it's held in by a little pin kind of a thing to enable you to pull the pawl out. This one has your traditional line guide with the metal cap setup. This one's a plastic line guide. This one's a metal line guide. So you're starting to see a little bit of a trend here, right? Let's go to our traditional 5600. We'll pull a case on that. We have a design that's been there for quite some time. This is riding on a gear sleeve. Your yoke tensioner spring, a yoke, brass or some metal alloy as your base, your main gear, with your traditional trip lever setup. Okay, what do we have here? Well, a couple of tension washers, plastic bushing, no instant anti-reverse. This one has the instant anti-reverse. Boy, that really does have to be serviced, huh? Instant anti-reverse, no instant anti-reverse, traditional finger dog, and if I can't say it enough, a couple of pieces of plastic in here. The carrier mechanism, the yoke, and this is not sitting on a bridge post. This is rather solid and attaches to the back with a screw. So why does some manufacturers hit a home run with one, and this 5600 C3, once cleaned up, is a home run in my opinion? And why do others just fall by the wayside? Well, for every one of the originals that I see come in, I see 5 or 6 or 10 of these come in. It's either a matter of the plastic breaking here. It's certainly a performance issue. I've found 2 or 3 of these now that have had wrecked worm gear drives, and overall just general disappointment from the folks that own the reels. So to sum this up, in one case it has something to do with who's making the reel, whether it's being made in the same plant by the same designers, or in this case 2 separate plants, 2 separate designers, same brand name. And in those cases, I generally think that all these manufacturers are doing is trying to live off the brand name and well, give you something less than what you're expecting. To the novice who was fishing a 6500 C3 all along, and he sees a C3 out there for what appears to be a bargain price, well, it's that old adage, you get what you pay for. Do your work. If you're considering buying a reel, do your work. If you have a reel that you love, compare the specs of the reel, compare the features and functions of the reel, where it's made, who made it, the price, and so on. The last one is kind of, well, it's just a guess a lot of times, and that is what's is called trade reels. And you find trade reels in tackle shops, and you find them in mass merchants. Even if they're under the mass merchants brand, they're typically made by 1 or 2 or 3 or 10 manufacturers who have a catalog of reels that they make. They sell them to the retailers, and the retailers put their own brand names on it. Actually, somebody approached me and said, would you like to have us make a reel for you? We'll put your name on the side of it, or Second Chance Tackle, or anything you want. All you have to do is order. And it was a small quantity. It was like 100. And we'll go get those out for you, kind of a deal. Well, they're all running a boilerplate thing, but there's no consistency between the reels that those manufacturers make and the designs. So you're really at the mercy of, online reviews, people that have used these reels in the past, people's opinions of them. And as much as folks say, don't watch the internet, anything is true or nothing is true. And a lot of times those product reviews mean an awful lot. So read them up. So Tanker, thanks for the idea, and thanks for giving me the opportunity to kind of show a little bit more about the reel that I do not like. And that is your Ambassadeur 6500S made in China. As for that 5600 C3, I have everything that I've said about this one. It's the polar opposite. I really enjoy that C3. I fish with them. That one, I think I purchased that one at a local flea market. It's been sitting in my bin as a to-be serviced reel. I now see why. It's kind of dirty and its bearing is shot. Those are easy fixes. I'm going to fix that one up as long as I have it apart, and I might as well go ahead and put that back together again. But there you go. I hope I've answered the question. Again, if you have any ideas of videos that you would like to see, just leave them along in that comment section. I'll do my best. I'll see if I can accommodate your videos in addition to the reel repair videos and the like that I try to post on a regular basis. Before I leave, I want to thank everybody for watching, for the comments that you've made, and in particular I want to call out our first responders, our police, fire, safety, rescue, all of the folks involved in keeping us out of harm's way on a day-to-day basis. I really do appreciate everybody viewing. I want to thank you for that and wish you all great days on the water, fun fishing, and just a fantastic day in general. This is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle. Thanks for watching.